Hello YouTube! I am back with another upload for Angelo the Comic Guy's Amazing Spider-Man 129. Last we saw, I applied methyl cellulose gel to the cover that was open, and I did that to strengthen the paper around the front or the top and bottom staple areas. I reassembled the book off camera because it was very intricate work where I had to get very close and I didn't want the filming to distract me. Another tip was I reassembled the book when the cover was still damp, allowing me to mold the paper or the spine to the book and better able to manipulate the bottom staple area to secure it. So I am pleased to say that both staples are secured, although very delicately. So I am going to put a note for the graders at CGC, and I'm going to take copious amounts of pictures before we send it in, because I had in the past staples that were popped as a result of grading. So what are we going to do in this upload? This upload, what we're going to do is I am going to let this sit in the press overnight, and then come the next day, tomorrow, I am going to film how I am going to press the book. After pressing the book, we will do our before and after pics, and then we will do the finale for our grade predictions to CGC. So stay tuned, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I am back, and I want to show you how I'm going to press the Amazing Spider-Man 129. As you saw in the last segment, we were dealing with the book under the cold press. So I just want to talk a little bit about the book. I was able to reattach the cover as indicated in the last upload. And as a result, I really do not want to wrench down on the press. And I also really don't want to do your typical sandwich with a backer board in the middle and also backer boards behind the front and back covers, because I don't want to disturb the work that we did with the staple and risk popping it once again. So what I'm going to do is I put a piece of parchment paper. This is Reynolds Kitchen pop-up parchment sheets, which I use. I prefer the rolls that I can cut individually, but this is all I have. And what I'm going to do is just lay the book flat in the press without anything inside the actual book. Then what I want to do is I want to put the piece of parchment paper on top, and you see how there's a fold. I like to put the fold facing up so we do not have an indentation into the cover. It probably wouldn't. I never had one before, but I'd rather have the indentation pressed down flat. Now, before we start pressing this, I have my Hanger 9 tack iron or mini iron, and I want to work on the cover alone prior to pressing with the hanger iron that I use so often that you see. I want to heat the cover up. I want to press it in all areas, just as a pre-press in the heat press. So we get the paper nice and relaxed, and it will give it at least a start to the pressing process. So I do this for sometimes 5-10 minutes, and I like to heat it up. Also, what I like to do is I like to see spots that I want to concentrate on. And sometimes what I'll do, for instance, the bottom of the cover, I will put the parchment paper on, I will heat it up, and there is some issues on the bottom, so I will heat it up, and if there's a troubled spot that I see, I will rub the iron on it, and then I like to use a spoon, and I like to rub the spoon on the problem area like this, and then I will go back and use the iron, and that will be the process for the 20 minutes or so, just taking my time doing this. So right now I have the heat press heating up to 173. That is the heat that I'm going to use. And again, I'm not putting anything in this book because I do not want to jeopardize the repairs that I made. I understand that there may be some overhanging of the book that may not get really focused on, but we'll see how it goes, and then we'll plan accordingly. So after I am done heating up the cover, when the press is ready, I will go over one more time, and I'm doing this in abbreviated fashion. And then we will take my 12 by 12 sheets from Home Depot. I have one on the bottom, one on top, and I will put it on top of the cover. And then we will slowly drop the top, and I'm not going to put a lot of pressure. I usually put the handle parallel to the press itself. We'll put it down. I can make it a little tighter. And I'm gonna let this sit. Probably I'll press it for about a half an hour, and then we'll shut the press off, and I'll see how it looks after leaving it in the press for about 24 hours after shutting the heat off. And then we'll inspect it. If I have to focus on a few other areas, I will. But that's the main gist, and this is not typical of how I may press Golden Age books, which would have the traditional sandwich, but not for this book because there was spine repair and staple repair. So that's it, YouTube, for this upload, and the next upload will, in regard to this book, will be the reveal, and we will do the before and after pics, and we will give the predictions most likely. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining me on this project.